Morning. This is Dylan Giovanni Behind the Markets. Happy Thursday. Today's Thursday, June 18th. We have a webinar at 1 o'clock today. I'm very, very excited about it. It's such an interesting story, really. Goldman Sachs is out with a report last week saying they add all up the spending, the targeted planned spending over the next 6 years, compute, data centers, and power. They say that is going to be a $7.6 trillion build out over the next 6 or 7 years before 2031. $7.6 trillion. That's bigger than, most national budgets. Our budget is $4 trillion. So you see this reindustrialization of America. You see it through Elon and his new SpaceX IPO. SpaceX isn't really just a rocket company anymore. It seems that it's a holding company for AI, and he outlines it in his S1 very, very clearly, where he's joining that $7.6 trillion infrastructure build out in a very, very, very big way. He's basically joined the race. That's what this is about. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. If you look at the AI stack, it's basically a 5-layer cake. And at the very bottom, you have energy, because again, every tech revolution in history is an energy revolution at root. You think of the railroads, you think of coal for railroads, you think of gasoline for cars, you think the internet, energy consumption went up greatly. They're all energy revolutions at root, okay? So that's the very foundation of the cake. You have chips, semiconductors, very, very important. Obviously, it's another layer of the cake. You have data centers, infrastructure, AI factories, all these things. You have models on top of that, second to the top layer, where you have, Grok, you have ChatGPT, you have Claude. All the models sit at that layer. And then at the very top, you have the applications layer. And that is the applications that people make from these models. And these applications help people do things. And that's where a lot of economic value add is going to be extracted over the time. But we can see, and you can see it in Elon's S1 filing, he's telling us what he sees as a future of this company. Because let's face it, the space launching rocket business for governments and companies, I got news for you. It's not that big of a bit. Very profitable. But how many people need big satellites launched into space? You have governments and large corporations. That's it. So it's not very, very big. Not a very big business. Great margins. And he's using the margins in that business, the cash flow, to fund his AI ambitions. Now, Goldman Sachs' estimate that $7.6 trillion is going through AI infrastructure development over the next 5 to 7 years. That's a national budget. When capital floods into infrastructure at that scale, what does it look like? We see Cisco own the pipes in the 90s. Stock jumped 67,000%. You think of Qualcomm back then up 10,000%. And all of them just soared because massive amounts of money went through a specific area. And you can see most of the competitors, SpaceX competitors, are focused on one area of that 5-layer cake. As we discussed yesterday, Elon is vertically integrated. He's going down the entire stack. Energy with his gas turbines, and he's actually having a power plant shipped to America. Infrastructure, he's got the Colossus plant over there. Models, he has Grok. And again, at the application layer now, he has Cursor. The one area that he is missing is chips. Okay, the one area he's missing is chips. And he has a $25 billion incentive to actually make a few moves this year before December 31st. He's got a $25 billion. There's not a man who's walking away from $25 billion incentives. So he's got a $25 billion incentive to move on chips to fill the 5 layers of the cake he's building, which again, you can see clearly in his S1 filing. So we're going to walk you through what that looks like in terms of his chip plans. We've talked about it here on this channel before. We're going to take you further in depth, really, and talk about some of the amazing opportunities here that are still undervalued in our view. I hope you join us at 1 o'clock. I'll see you then. It's going to be fun. And at very least, you're going to learn something. Join us. We'll have some fun.